I want to start off with the big shock and awe. I did not work in a creative journal for the entire 2 months that I was gone. Hello, my creative peeps. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. If this is the first video you're seeing of me, this is going to be a little weird, but hello, welcome. This is my first video back on YouTube since my 2 months off this summer, or off of my online business anyway, and I'm excited to come catch up with you and chat and give you a little bit of a rundown about what's going on, what you can expect in the future, what I did while I was away, stuff like that. If you're over on my Patreon or on my newsletter, you've already kind of seen a little bit about this, but I'm really excited to be able to bring everybody together here in the YouTube space and chat. Before we get into what I'm doing, I would love to hear in the comments below if you'd like to share what you got up to this summer or what your favorite thing you did this summer was. I really want to know what you guys were up to. It's always fun to come share what I'm doing, but I really like to have this be a community, so if you want to share the funnest thing you did this summer in the comments below, I'd love to read. All right, so this summer, what did I do? I want to start off with the big shock and awe. I did not work in a creative journal for the entire 2 months that I was gone. Yeah, I know, that's pretty crazy. The reason I want to share this with you is because, well, one, for the obvious reason, there won't be a lot of journaling to share with you about, what I did while I was away and things. But I also wanted to let you know that if you are in a position where you have not journaled in weeks, months, years, it's never too late to dive back in. There's no pressure to get going back again. Sometimes we just need to take a break, and that's totally fine. Or you may find that you don't journal in the same ways that you used to, and that is okay too. That's not to say I'm not going to creative journal anymore. I will show you later in this video the creative journal that I'm moving into next, but I did just want to put that out there as words of encouragement. Journaling doesn't have to look the same for every part of your life ever, and it's okay to grow and evolve with you. And I just wanted to take the time to normalize that, especially since we're in this time of what seems like journaling on the internet, where daily journalers kind of rule or prevail. People who set up, their monthly bullet journals with beautiful layouts, or people who do kind of Hobonichi style, where they document every single day of their life and the things going on. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not throwing shade in anybody's way. I enjoy watching those videos as well sometimes, but it's not the only way to journal. And if that type of journaling does not work for you, or you can't keep up with it for the entire year, there is nothing wrong with you. Say it with me. There is nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with us. Okay? Great. And while I didn't do that, I did do a lot of journaling in terms of goal journaling and working on my planner and working in my written journal / spiritual journal that I have. If you're curious about what all of those pieces kind of look like, I am going to be sharing in my next video all about my current journals and how I use them, etc., etc. But I don't want this video to be 8 million miles longer than it's already going to be. So if you're interested in seeing that, make sure you're, subscribed, notification bell, or you can just join my newsletter and I'll send you an email when the video comes out. So some other things that I did during my time off was I actually went through all of my old journals. So all the journals that I've collected since I started journaling when I was a little kid up until now. That includes also some planners as well. So that was a pretty crazy task to undertake. It took me a solid half of a day. I had about 3 totes worth, and what I did was I actually went through and I looked at them all, relived some great memories, relived some not so great memories, and I put together an entire bin of them that I plan on burning. Basically, I just come to a point where I was like, if I don't want to look at these anymore, looking at these does not make me happy. It actually makes me unhappy because of those times. And if there are things I definitely would not want anyone else to read at this point, and I don't want to read them, why am I keeping them? It's just kind of like baggage, I'm just holding on to them. So I have not done my burning ceremony yet, but that is on the docket to do this fall. So that was a big project that I'm excited to put a little bow on and finish. Another much larger project that I undertook over my time off was I actually downsized all of my journaling supplies. You may have already noticed that the background behind me is a little bit different than it used to be. I have not moved, but I switched rooms in our tiny home. So this used to be our bedroom, and now it is my office. It is a little smaller than the room that I had before. If you missed that tour, I'll leave it linked in a card so you guys can check that out. But in order to switch these rooms, I really needed to downsize my journaling supplies, which has resulted in the biggest de-stash of my life. I have probably close to 30 different bundles that I'm working on finishing putting together that are going to go up in my Etsy shop for you guys to get these goodies and give them a new home. I'm talking blank journals, stickers, markers, colored pencils, the Stabilo Woody sets are in there, stencils, die cuts, paper, like you name it, it is in these bundles, and I'm so excited. Those will be coming later this month once I can put the finishing touches on all of them. I still have quite a bit to divvy up between the things and go through, but definitely excited about that. If you want kind of like first dibs on some of those things, definitely join the newsletter, and I'll make sure you kind of get a notification when those come out. So what else did I do while I was away? I did still work my cleaning job. A lot of people were confused about that. I was still working 2, 3, 4 days a week. Cleaning as things ramp up in the summer. But during that time that I was not working, I did a lot of personal development work. I jumped into a spiritual business class with Natalia Benson. It's called MWMM. It's a 6-month class, and I really dove into that and started to learn more about business structuring and really honing in on your purpose of your business and what it is that you help people with. The reason I was taking this class was because I already knew that kind of what I was doing for you wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. Not just in terms of, audience or anything like that, but just in terms of impact. When I started this channel in 2016, I was really focused on journaling and finding my authentic self and my authentic expression through being creative within the pages of my journal, because that was a safe space for me to do that. And up until this point, that's really been the whole point of the things that I share with you. Creatively free to be me, right? Being creatively free to be yourself within your journal and to show up in that space as your authentic self. Looking back from where I am now to back then, journaling was just the beginning for me. As I have grown and learned over the years as a person who's now almost 30, which is crazy to think about, it has been not only through journaling, but also self-development tools, spiritual tools, and intuitive planning tools that I have built and continue to build a life of my dreams. If I could tell Leanne in 2016, who started this channel, that this is where I would be today, I probably would not believe her. I firmly believe that life is meant to be enjoyed, and I have used these different tools and techniques to infuse and up-level that joy in my life. Since I have learned all these different things over the years that have transformed my life so much, I want to continue my creatively free to be me journey by infusing more of these tools and techniques into my content so that I can also help you build a life that you enjoy living and that you can look back and say, past me would not have believed that I am where I am now, in a good way. So while I'm very excited about everything that is to come, I also want to take a moment to thank all of you for being here. Some of you have been here from the very beginning, and it is such an honor and a privilege to know each and every one of you. It means so much to me that we've had this time together and that we've grown together, journaling and creating and doing all of these fun things. And this is not to say goodbye. I'm not going anywhere. Creatively free to be me will still be a thing. I will still be here. YouTube's a thing. There will be some changes, and I know that not everybody is going to be excited about those changes, and that's okay. So moving forward for the month of September, I'm going to stick to the content that you guys are used to seeing from me. We're going to be talking about journals. I'm going to give you a little new office tour. We'll be sharing with you the D-Stash bundles and things like that. Then as October hits, you will start to see the rebrand announcement. I'll start bringing out the new graphics. My new website redesign will be up, and I will start incorporating some of those different topics in with the content that I usually put out. I know that's a little vague on exactly what the changes are going to be, but I really wanted to take September to honor this time to celebrate you guys and the community that we have built here and what Creatively Free to Be Me was and is, and before we move into what it is going to be and will be. To continue that celebration, I'm also hosting a 3-month live party on Patreon. So all Patreon content is now live streams. We're doing live monthly hangouts and live journal classes, as well as access to the archive as usual, the Discord group, and there's a special offer in there if you would like to be part of my beta testing group for new products that I'm rolling out under my new rebrand. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. We already had one live party, which was so fun. It was my first kind of ease back into things, and I really appreciate everybody was there. It was an absolute blast, and the replay is up if you'd like to catch that. Otherwise, like I said, I will be here doing content. Along with the changes coming, one of the things that I will not be doing anymore is selling stickers in my Etsy shop. So for now until September 15th, everything in the shop is 30% off all remaining sticker stock, no code needed. So if you'd like to get some of your favorites, I know some of you have already taken advantage of that offer, definitely check out the link in the description box to snag those before they go away. Once the 15th hits, I will be taking all of those down and incorporating whatever's left into those de-stash boxes that I've been talking about. So you do have kind of a second chance to get it there. But if you don't want to gamble and you want something specific, definitely check that out below. So moving on, like I said, October we will slowly transition into those new content topics. I will be announcing my rebrand, all of that fun stuff. Over on my Patreon, you will see the invitation to test some things. And then November will be full-fledged new content and will also be my last month on Patreon. Patreon itself is not closing, but I personally am closing my Patreon. I felt this was the best decision as part of kind of my restructure and rebrand so that nobody got confused about what old stuff was still available and what new stuff was still available. We're just kind of wiping the proverbial slate clean, introducing these new topics of content, courses. I have my seasonal planner coming, memberships, all that fun stuff. So November will be the last month for that, and anyone who's still on my Patreon in November gets a special gift. So if you were one of my peeps that kind of hopped off while I was away, this is your invitation to hop back on and join me for the next 3 months. I would love to have you there. I know this is all pretty vague, but I just wanted to touch upon that real quick to let you guys know what's going on. You'll see announcements popping up here and there, but thank you all so much for being here. Just to clarify, YouTube is still going to be there. I'm still going to be posting on my channel and my Instagram and all those places with content for you guys. It's just the topics I may be shifting a little bit. Journaling is still going to be part of everything. It's not going to be like night and day. I'm just going to be incorporating a lot of other things in with the journaling content. So the journaling content will be a much smaller slice rather than the main focus, which it has been for a long time. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate. Send me an email, drop me a thing in the comments. If there's enough questions and I can't answer them all by, typing a reply to you, I will do a separate Q&A to kind of clear all that up. But I hope that this gives you a nice little overview and insight into the changes coming that I'm very excited about, and I hope that you are too. I'm sure there are many more things that I could talk about to update you on, but I think I've thrown enough information at you today, so I'm going to leave you here, and we're going to go back down to my desk, and I will show you my new creative journal. All right, so on to the exciting part. This is my creative journal that I will be moving into. I'm very excited. This was really fun to put together. This is a journal that I created myself, kind of at the beginning of my time off. I didn't really intentionally not journal. It just kind of happened because I didn't put any pressure on myself to do so, but I was really happy that I made this journal because I'm so excited to move into it. It's got this awesome like mermaid scale sequin fabric on it. I just used a bunch of things that I found while I was cleaning out some stuff in my storage space and put this together. So we have this mermaid fabric, some fabric as the base, and then I had taken apart a cover that I got on clearance at Michael's that really didn't fit any journals. Glitter vinyl on it, so I put that on the spine. As always, I was going to put in way more signatures than the book could hold. A little funky with the binding because I'm kind of missing that last signature, but it is what it is. It's just for me, so it really doesn't matter, right? Stars that I found, you know, the ones you like stick on your ceiling as a kid, so that was fun. And then a Tim Holtz chipboard word here. So probably the funnest part is just like playing with the little sequins. But that is the journal, and let's just dive in here. I did put in a very few select things over my time off. I put in this scan of an oracle card. I kind of did this front little pocket thing here, and I added this tea tag and this fruit sticker, and that's it. Everything else kind of happened during our live journal party, but that was fun. So what did I put in here? While I was cleaning out all of my stuff in my storage space, I found a bunch of old scrapbooking paper and old like pieces of paper for journals that I had like either not used or I had extra signatures in that I took apart. So that's kind of what this page is from. It's an old tea dyed page from another project. I added some stickers and tea tags and other things during our live stream over on Patreon. These are the only two photos I really have in here so far. I went on like a mini 3-day, very rushed road trip with my father so he could go look at a college in Vermont. So it was 12 hours driving one day, 6 to 8 hours driving the next day, plus all the college tours and stuff, and then 12 hours back the third day. So it was quite the whirlwind, but I got some awesome kind of drinks and snacks along the way, which was the highlight of my part of the trip. So those are in there, and of course I'll put some type of other things there, but that's kind of the base of that. I put in this shimmery spray. I had a lot of fun as I was kind of going through my supplies, rediscovering some of those things that I hadn't used in a while, so I added some shimmer sprays. This is just a little card spread that I did for myself this morning that I tucked in there. My aunt purchased me this ginormous amethyst crystal to use at my wedding, and I can't wait to put it in my office after, but it's so heavy Christopher refuses to move it more times than he has to. So for right now, that's out in the storage unit, but that's kind of what's going on with that. Next, I just have some other little papers tucked into all these things. This is what do you call it? The little envelope things that I put in here. A little decorative spot. More tea tags. I save a lot of tea tags, apparently. I like the yogi teas with the little sayings on them. They do repeat themselves a lot, but sometimes they just really speak to me. So this, again, was another old find. In the past, I had created some, like, Halloween story journals, and this was like a bloody letter that I had left over from that. It's not real blood, of course. It's paint or whatever, but that was fun. Some of the pocket photo pages. A black page that I ripped out of an old journal that I repurposed. More of that awesome shimmer spray. I think this nozzle on this one was clogged, so I just kind of like smooshed it on there. Little flip outs. More just pockets. I've put in these written pages in here for myself to do things on. Flower paper, Midori MD paper. This has to be like the best shimmer spray ever. And since then, Dilutions has come out with some new colors, so that might be something that I want to add to my collection in the future because I'm just pretty obsessed with the shimmer at the moment. Little belly band, oh my goodness, belly band here with a pocket and another little writing stationery in there. Vintage ledger scraps, moleskin pages that I ripped out of something. Scrapbooking paper with spray. So definitely lots of repurposed papers and things in here, which is fun. It's like my favorite way to put journals together, especially for myself. So there's that. Oh, this was fun. I made a little pocket with this printout. This was another page that I guess I hadn't used in a journal, and I just stuck in some letter papers in here that I found that somebody sent me a very long time ago. So those were in there. Under the C paper, vintage ledger paper with a little bit of splatter, an envelope, a random card I put in there, paper to write on. I believe this is all Tomoe River paper, so that'll be really fun to do some watercolor on. That probably won't even make it to this part of the journal before it's too chunky to use, but you know, I always have high hopes. I always want to put all the pages in, and then it gets to be like this, and I'm like, oh, I have to take these out, and then they get used in a new journal. This is a cycle. We've seen this before, right? This is an amazing envelope that someone had sent me a while ago. Katia, I believe, sent me that. More of that shimmer spray. Misprints from test prints I was doing for the seasonal planner that I'm making. More old repurposed pages from journals that never came together. Vintage ledger scraps. Tomoe River paper. Let's see, the vellum, the back of that envelope, this super fun, like, mangled piece of paper that I liked. I just stuck a bunch of things in here. Again, a little index card that I believe Katia had sent me. Some vintage paper printouts. And a vintage envelope. I love the back on this paper. You know, I didn't really make this intentionally for spooky season, for fall. I just put together things that I wanted to use, but it does have a very like fall spooky season theme, which I'm excited because it just kind of worked out perfectly, you know. Plus, fall should be all year long. It should be always Halloween. More just fun little pockets. Drop me some type of emoji or like a heck yes below if you agree that Halloween should be all year long. I want to know where my peeps are at. This is a cool double fold out pocket page here. More scrap like printouts. This is just a bunch of envelopes. I'm not quite sure why I shoved them back here, but just like, again, more things for journals that I never used. These are envelopes from those journaling papers that I didn't get to, and then this really fun scrapbooking paper folder. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those, but I guess they're just back here for the inspiration of it. And then probably the best page in this whole journal is this like ripped haunted house paper. I didn't do this on purpose. I was printing out this scrapbooking paper on my printer on a tea-dyed page to use in a journal, and it got jammed in the printer and it came out like that. And I just hadn't used it. So that is what my creative journal is looking like, and I'm excited to continue to work in it, especially during those live parties over on Patreon, and pulling out my, you know, fall stuff and getting into that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me today, you guys. I know I threw a lot at you. Thank you so much for your time. I know it is valuable. I know it is precious, and I greatly appreciate you spending it with me. I can't wait to hear all of your comments below about any and all of the things. Spam me up. I want to chat. I feel like we haven't been talking for so long, and I really miss you all. So thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys real soon with that video about where all of my journals stand right now. And until next time, take care, guys. Bye!